What's up everybody, Ben here, and for those of you who don't know, I am in fact a power lifter. That means I lift things up that are extremely heavy and I put a lot of power and aggression into it. Now I might not be seen as the world's most flexible man, but on those rest days I do need to keep agile and increase my flexibility. Well, today I'm going to be looking at the world's hardest stretching routine. Now, as it turns out, I made a bit of a mistake because I googled world's hardest stretching routine. Thinking, I can do anything. I'm Ben. I click on the first video I find, think, this is nothing. And then what I see, quite frankly, scares me. Quite frankly, I didn't realise that the Elastigirl from Fantastic Four was actually a real human being. So I've put my ego aside and I'm going to be taking on the world's hardest stretching routine for beginners.
Just let gravity pull me down. This is something that you always want to keep in your mind while you're stretching, is to just let gravity do all of the work. You're not necessarily pushing yourself into anything because that can cause pain. Just letting your neck fall, using the weight to pull on your neck. And then we'll switch to the arms behind our head to go forward. Just let it dangle. Every time you breathe, your muscles get more relaxed. Then we'll roll our shoulders back and forward.
It's beautiful.
We'll plie or bend the knees to reach up and breathe. And then come back down to reach up.
I've got a light. I can't do this.
We're going to do this a few times, and what we're doing here is really stretching out the whole body and letting it warm up, getting all of the muscles moving before we start stretching. And this is something that you should always do before you stretch. You don't want to just start pushing your body into something it's not ready for. If your muscles are warm, you're going to find that the flexibility comes much easier.
Awesome job, guys.
Thank you. We're going to use an imaginary stool for this one.
Apart. And then we're going to lean forward to rest our hands on this stool. And this is just to make getting into this stretch a lot easier. You really want to make progress here and make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on your hands, but it's there to keep it from being too painful. Legs out to either side. Now in a full straddle stretch, your legs will be straight, but in our modified version, we'll have our legs bent here, lifting our knees up off of the ground. And from here, you'll just go as far forward as you can. Now, I encourage you to place your hands a foot, maybe 2 feet in front of your hips. And from here, you want to slowly try and straighten your legs, bringing your knees to touch the ground.
I'm fighting it.
What you're fighting for, and you just want to hold. So straddle stretch is a great stretch to be able to see your own progress in. I encourage you to pay attention to the floor if you're...
I can touch that little crow.
Switch our other leg into our thigh and then fold over.
I was told at a young age that ballet dancing was in my future, but I just wasn't feeling it.
Stretching out that hamstring.
I'm sure you guys can tell that.
Let's do the middle stretch one more time. So we'll bend our knee.
Little stretch again. We don't mess about.
Maybe notice that you've made a
little bit of an improvement, a centimeter or two.
Each time you do it, you should feel a little bit more comfortable.
Get the chest.
And fight to lower your knees a little bit.
They're already on the floor.
Keeping that back flat.
Don't want to brag about it.
Bring our feet into the middle for a butterfly stretch. And here I'm just going to sit and hold my ankles and push my knees down with my elbow.
Knees
You should
down
be
with the
feeling
elbow.
a nice stretch either in your
That's a deep
groin
burn.
or in your glutes, or maybe both, depending on
Something.
where you need to be more flexible.
They often say feel the burn for your workout.
And in this stretch, it's
I like to feel the burn for the stretch.
So when you arch your back, it's one of the few. Really pulling yourself down. And now we're gonna do the opposite and try and stretch out and keep that back as flat as we can. If you chose to sit here without any other props assisting you,
You know what? That's harder than it looks.
pushing yourself too hard. Maybe you can do it, but you might
I thought that'd be a piece of piss, but
progress in the stretch.
really more comfortable. So just make the decision that's best for you. Or an actual exercise band, wrap around your heel and then pull your leg closer. But holding lower down on your leg is just fine too. And as you're practicing this stretch, you want to make sure that you're always reaching and trying to walk your hands up and get them all the way up here. This really is the goal of this stretch, but for now, it's fine to grab it down here.
when you got heavy legs, this is almost like a lift. This woman is a sadist. She just wants to see the world burn. Do you know what? Screw this. I'm flexible. I won't be having any of this. Do you know what? You don't need to listen to someone else telling you you're not good enough. Just go out and do it. Ben, signing out.